Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna first of all, I want to thank Carlos Horcos for working with the Tualatin Historical Society, which will make this opportunity possible for our members to and share some of his artwork with him. He's been very gracious in allowing that to happen, and we look forward to our membership drive this year, thanks to Carlos. And he joins us today. This is being recorded in December of 2020, but we're going to show it in 2021 because 2020 is just such a horrible year. No, our membership meeting is on January 6th anyway. Carlos, we are a historical society and can't help but ask you the first question to tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit of background, a small biography, because that's what we do. We love that kind of stuff.
Yes, it's very nice to meet you, all of you guys. Well, my name is Carlos Horcos. I am from Chile, native from Chile. I married my American wife in 2008 in Chile. We moved here in 2010. And since then, I've been working as an art teacher, been working in several art expositions. Also, I do Spanish classes in elementary schools. For a little bit, the first three years, and then we start having family. My daughter, and then my son, and time goes, I don't know where. And I am working right now in an engineering company in Portland, doing some VR development over there. But art is a big part of my daily day. I try to do as much as I can. Time is not a lot every day. It's having a rough 2020 for everybody. But like I say, I try to do some art once in a while.
So going backwards just a little bit to the beginning of your interest in art, how did that stop? I mean, how did it start? Your interest in art? What was the thing that triggered that for you?
Oh, my grandfather was he was a painting guy, not a professional. Just he made some paintings every month. And I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, and I started doing my own paintings. Drawing for mom, I love you, and something else on the paper. So that's how it started. And then I haven't stopped since then. I did a couple exposition in Chile, small ones. And then I started studying graphic design, and I did more art related to my career. And then I've been keep painting as much as I can since then, since little kid.
And we know Anne Avery knows the answer to this question because she's asked it before, but for the benefit of those that are watching the recorded program, we would like to know what brought you to the city when it came time for them to commission paintings for the Centennial event.
Yes, and I sent a couple paintings for the Art Splotch in 2011, I think. I participated in that event at Tualatin, City of Commons. I think it's the name of the place. And then I got a distinction for one of my paintings. It was a Hawthorne Bridge, I think. I still have that painting. It's really nice. And then the 100 year of the city of Tualatin come up, and I apply online with some more paintings, and I sent a proposal, and then yes, I got the job, and I started doing this whole set of paintings for the city. I was pretty happy about it.
Along those lines, I had the opportunity to wade through a lot of the paperwork that the city exchanged with you during that time period. It's in our archives. And the one thing I was never really able to uncover and understand was there is the tin that we saw when we were watching the slideshow that were part of that commemorative series, one for each decade. But then there was those 4 at the end that the city ended up actually buying from you as well. Can
Yes.
you explain, why those extra 4? What was the background? What was the history on those extra 4 paintings?
Oh, the committee thought that those were really important painting, uh, like really important dates on the history of the city, and they asked me to paint those 3 more, and they also asked me to create a painting which can like show to the community an image of the city of this century. And I remember the wet station, the train station um, painting for that. How can I say, for that event? That painting that I create, it was showed like a painting of this century, showing how much the city has been evolving. And yeah, and that's it. Happy
You,
to
you
create the painting.
Uh-huh. You might have already answered me somehow with your last answer, but one of the things on the list that I was curious about was the West Station. When you and I first started communicating, and you had an interest in making sure that you got the four prints that we just discussed, that West Station was one that was really important to you. It really stood out in our communication. Um, I don't know. Was it because it represented this century, or was the West Station important to you for some other reason?
It was important because I created painting from scratch. I mean, I took the pictures, I went there, I spent time, I looked the areas around in Tualatin and looking for something that truly represents the city in one, common place. And I found really interesting that the West Stages was just finished like a month ago and caught my eye. The photography that I take, it was a really nice angle. I cleaned it up a little bit, the image, and then I created the painting. So yeah, it was time involved, looking around, searching for the right place to create a painting. And yeah, it has some sentimental uh, space for me.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. And for those who, well, let me make sure that I'm correct before I say this, but on your webpage, there is an image of the Hawthorne Bridge that you referred to earlier, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's the
Yeah,
painting.
yeah, that's pretty stunning. Where is that painting today?
It is with me. My wife, there's several people want to buy the painting, but my wife worried. She say, "Oh, don't sell that painting. It's so nice." And it was the first painting that I did in Portland. I went over
Uh-huh,
there. Same history. I went over there. I walked around. I took the picture, and then I did the painting. So
uh-huh.
it's still with me. Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe when those house mortgages start in Canby, she'll reconsider, huh? Well, no.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe. Um, I have another question for you. Sort of maybe it might be multi-part before we invite our panelists to join in too. Um, I did go to your webpage, in fact, and I was very curious because here is a guy that we know as someone who's an accomplished artist with regard to watercolors. But what I saw on that webpage was someone who's also involved in architectural type renderings, experimental design, virtual reality, animation, all kinds of stuff. Would you mind just taking a few minutes to maybe pick one or two of those and tell us what's involved with that? Who are your customers? Are you given a vision when you do those, or do you create it yourself? And just, fill in some of those white spaces for us.
Sure. Renderings for architectural projects have been in my curriculum since the beginning as a graphic designer 30 years ago. And I love doing that because it's a way to express art through technology. So when a rendering is complete in an architectural presentation, it's like a painting. It's like a recreation of something that is not built yet. It's gonna be there at some point. So that caught my eyes since young graphic designer person, and I start recreating rendering since then, and I love doing it. Virtual reality, for other side, is similar, but you can use the technology to be there when it's nothing. So that's the part that caught my eye. Recreating spaces, environments when there is nothing there, and you can be there and you can see what is going to be there in a close future. So those are related by a common meaning, which is art. Both have different art kind of expressions, which I like to explore. And that's it. I love doing it.
And you had mentioned that the job that you're working on now, the full-time job, is a VR job, a virtual reality job. Is that something that the public would ever see, or what's the background on that? Is this just strictly inside the company?
No, no. We do a lot of high school construction remodelations, and I have a couple of VR models, for example, for the new high school in Seaside. We did the whole site design for the high school, and I have the VR model for that site. I send it to the school over there so the kids can go around, and explore what is coming for them. The really beautiful high school. Same thing with Sherwood High School. Um, there's one Franklin High School. I think we have a VRV model. So it's not just stay in the company. It go out to the public so people can enjoy our work. And yeah, it's not a secret. We do international projects who has more uh, you know uh, contract things involved, and you cannot show a lot to client or people, but the schools are a good example of our work, and and to get close to the community.
Okay, that's great. And for any of our members um, who sometimes we span many generations in our organizations, if they need an example of what virtual reality is like, it's sort of like walking into a video game, and the students can just walk around and see the gymnasium and their classrooms and go outside. And do I have a fairly good understanding of how that would work?
Yes, yes. I basically create from scratch the whole engineering site plus all the architectural element on the model. And then, as you say, you can put the VR on and walk through the whole uh, 3D model, classrooms, football fields, schools, whatever is there.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'd like to open it up to some of our panelists to ask you some questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
I have a question, or is there taking turns, or
That's okay,
should I just
Julia. Go
speak up?
ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
So first I have to say that your paintings are amazing. They're very technical and I'm very impressed by them. Am I correct to understand that you're self-taught, or did you take watercolor lessons or while you were getting your graphic design degree?
No, no, I was born with a gift. Uh, thank God, I was born with a gift, and it just come up from my hands.
Wow.
I didn't took classes or anything like that. No.
And I also had another question. How did you decide to work with watercolors as opposed to acrylics or oil paintings?
Oh, if I do more than watercolor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I do. I love oil painting. I had a couple samples on my website, and watercolor is such a modest way to show history on those sepia tones on the paper that it's a modest way to show, but at the same time, it's so involved. You get involved in that painting. It's a simple way to do it, but it can involve you in. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yes.
Wow. And then how did you get into VR and virtual reality? Is that also something that is, or is that something that was just like a natural progression in your job because you mentioned you work at an architectural firm? Is that kind of like the future of what drawing is going in terms of like from a commercial perspective?
Yes, I started doing VR several years ago, and like I said before, it's part of art, building something from scratch, something that's gonna be there in a future, and then also you can be there, and being there, the model, the work that you've done can involve you and get your interest and you know and have the experience. So like I say, it's a different kind of art using technology, but uh, it can involve people, get people to get into this the new discipline.
Okay.
Thank you. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Anne?
I have something to, I don't know, say, not ask. Your painting of the railroad station evokes a very warm, small town feeling, which is something that I never dreamed I would think when they were proposing that they put a station in through the city. It's beautiful. And I'm late to finding out anything about your art. The precision of your paintings almost looks like pen and ink, but it's watercolor.
That's what I
Yeah.
call it.
I mean, it just looks like somebody took fine point pen and did all that precise work. Very, very nice.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Especially the lettering on the signs. It must be a very fine brush.
Um. No, really. I use from number 2 to 6 in a couple of special big brushes. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
How many hours
Let
did
me
it
note of
take?
that.
How many hours did it take to do the brick store in the flood with the car in front?
Oh, that's the thing. I like to do it fast. I'm not that kind of artist who spend days or hours and hours doing something. I like to like being done in 2 to 3 hours,
Oh,
and
jeez.
then the next. Yeah, I like to do. You know, time is the only thing that it goes really fast and never come back. So I like to finish a painting as soon as I can, and then start the next one. Yeah.
Carlos, I had a question about your painting of the scene of the brick store and the flood and the automobile in front of the store. And did you add, because I can remember seeing a photo similar to that, but without the automobile. So I was wondering, did you add the automobile when you
Yes.
did that painting?
Good question. Yes, I remember seeing the painting. It needs something. It needs something on it, and it was a really rainy day. So I thought, why not put in a all nice fur, next to the window, so it can caught your eye when you are looking at it. So yeah.
Yeah, it adds a lot, I think.
It worked. Yeah.
Yeah, good catch, Sandra. I noticed that also, that the car wasn't in the photograph. I thought maybe Carlos had made a mistake and he was just using the car to cover it up.
That's a good question.
And you look like you wanted to ask something.
I do. I'm so curious about the work you do with virtual reality. Is that with an architectural firm?
No, it's an engineering company in Portland.
Huh. And I don't imagine there are a lot of virtual reality artists around. Do you
It's
know?
growing. It's growing.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you got the goggles on and start working on models.
Do the engineers provide you a structure, or do you create the structure yourself?
No, I create the structure by myself. I take the civil files from a 2D perspective, and then I build the 3D model.
And that's sort of, I'm not real knowledgeable about
That's okay.
modern drawing techniques and electronics, but it sort of makes me think of video game drawings. Do you ever do any of that kind of stuff?
I did a couple models, but I'm not a video game guy. It's not my thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you probably have to be pretty into it to do that.
No, I am an arcade guy. Yeah, that's all.
That's really interesting. It's a whole new field.
It is. It is. It's getting big and everything.
Are there computer programs that kind of enhance your drawings, kind of make them move as you go? Like you can do one drawing here and one drawing there and the computer fills in between?
No, usually I took Revit models from the architectural,
Uh-huh.
and then I stamp all of those in my 3D model of the site, and then you start combining things. But building it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So is there like an inventory, a toolbox you can pull from that say, here are different kinds of lockers and here's different kinds of doors and here's different types of flooring and trees and...
That's correct. Yes, there is a library, big library with everything that you can use, or you can create your own stuff to add on the model.
Interesting.
The green truck that was in the very first slide, I think I remember seeing that years ago in Tualatin. Is that one of our paintings that you did?
I don't think so.
There's not one that we bought.
The green truck in the very, let me just have another look there real quick.
Yeah.
Let me just share here with you guys what in case you forgot, we can see this again. This is the, can you see my little arrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
This
that.
is the one.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a commissioning painting for a personal customer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh.
They wanted for her husband, this big 54-4, and she really wanted the dog on it, so I put the dog on it.
well, you must have had that in your portfolio or something, because that image really stuck with me.
It's gone, but I did the same painting, but in sepia, and I have it. I have it with me. I really like that one.
Yeah, it's
Without
very
dog.
handsome. But does it have the dog also?
No dog on
No
it.
dog. Okay.
What brought you here from Chile?
My wife.
Oh,
Wait a minute. She's American. You met.
Yeah,
She was in Chile.
she raised and born in Sherwood. And she was
Oh.
teaching English at a university in Chile. And we really want to stay in Chile. We live in Viña del Mar. It's a coast, beautiful city. I really want to stay in Chile. And after 2 years living there, she was missing everything. So we moved here I say, you give me 2 years in Chile, I give you 2 years in your country. The problem is she gave me 2 years and 2 kids.
Kind of grounds you, kind of roots you, doesn't it? You get to go down there and visit once in a while.
Yes, I go there as much as I can to see my whole family is there. So yeah.
Well, you've certainly become part of our community.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. I love this art spirit in any small or big town in Portland. I love that. You don't see that in Chile very often. So that part is I really enjoy. I really enjoy that here.
That's great.
Carlos, what are you working on something now on your own time, your own art, or do you have an idea of something that you want to do in the future in art?
Yes, I'm finishing a painting. The people who rent this apartment for 3 months, the first day they give me a gift, a bottle wine from Chile, and that really touched me. And so I'm doing a painting for them right now, a small one, but I wanna leave the painting as a gift for them. And in the future, I'm thinking in doing big bridges from Portland, but at big scale. Some technical, more like a technical drawing, and some of them like in watercolor, but big, like I don't know,
Like the side of a building, big.
2 foot by 8, stuff like that.
Okay. Uh-huh.
That's a building, yeah, that would be cool.
That was my next question was, would you ever do public art? And that would probably be a side of a building or something like that.
I did actually in Chile, like murals. I did murals for public art. Yes, some crazy and some more normal. But yeah.
What else do we have for, I guess, today?
But when you start out on a piece of paper for the watercolor, it has to be wet. Right?
I have.
Oops. Go ahead, Larry. Julia, you'll go next. Go ahead, Larry.
The paper has to be wet to start with. Is that true?
No.
No. Okay.
No, but I would say I spend more time on the sketching part, like detailing everything with the pencil. I would say they spend more time detailing everything than actually painting. Painting it flows really fast on my hands.
Are your kids painting?
What?
Well, my question
Anne
is,
asked, do your children paint?
yeah.
Yeah, my daughter, she really like painting, and she's really enthusiastic about it. And I start teaching her some basic technique, so she can do it. But she really like it.
How old is your daughter?
9.
9. Okay.
just right.
We'll have to look for her. Julia, go ahead, hon.
I have a question. If anyone is interested in commissioning a painting from you, can you talk to us about what your process is like or how we would go about doing that?
Yes, of course. I mean, first I talk with the client, or we talk about what they want, but mostly I go like an emotional part, because it's, for example, in the truck painting, she really want the dog on the painting because part of the family and family history. And she wasn't mentioning that. It just the dog came to me, and started barking and bothering me. And yeah, oh, what a nice dog. And then I start talking with this person, and yeah, this dog has spent so many years with us. And then I thought, do you want the dog on the painting? Oh, and she said, that would be wonderful if you can put the dog there. Oh my God. And I said, oh, no problem. So sometimes people ask for something really like, I want this and this is it. And sometimes you go a little bit further, with your the client or the person you're working with. Yeah.
It's great. Thank you.
And you live in Tualatin, is that right, Carlos? You and your family are in Tualatin right now?
We were living in Newburgh, Sherwood first, then Newburgh, and we are right now in Lake Oswego for until January 19th, and then Canby. Canby is closest to everything.
Mhm.
Well, we're lucky to have your work. I think it's really nice.
Yeah, happy to show anything to you guys. I'm gonna try to stop by and when you do the presentation and bring more paintings.
Do you,
That would be great.
Yeah, of
We would
course.
love that. It'll probably be post-COVID, of course, but
Yeah.
to have you around for maybe a reception or something and show a few paintings and have coffee and cookies and meet some of our members, and
Of course.
maybe we'll find somebody else who wants their dog painted.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah.
Carlos, do you ever do natural scenic things or flowers and things like that? You're going to be in Canby, where the flower capital of dahlias is. You
Yeah.
should go there and get inspired.
No, I do a lot of flowers painting.
Mm.
I still have one, I think, from my wedding, the bouquet, my wife bouquet.
hmm,
Yeah, I paint that one. I think I still have it. I need to look at it. But I do a lot of nature painting.
are you the only artist in your family?
That's a good question. Actually, my nephew, he's 23, 24 at the university in Chile, and he's really good. He's truly artist. He can not, I mean, he's good with his hand, but he can create stuff like really cool. He's in the top university, like the first 5 really good kids in art.
Hmm.
He has a scholarship, so he's there for free, and that's really hard to get in Chile. He's really good. Yeah,
Is his last name Horcos also?
yeah.
Okay.
And Daniel Horcos, yes.
Okay. So in the future, if we hear of some famous artist from Chile, Daniel Horcos,
Oh,
we can say, we know his uncle.
that's true. He's really good. Yes.
Is he doing graphic art or is he doing fine art kind of?
No, he's doing art.
Yeah, just
His
Yeah.
bachelor would be in art. He can do everything and even teach art.
that's wonderful.
He's really good. Yes.
Have you got a gallerist or have you worked with a professional gallery?
Me, yes, I did 2 or 3 really big ones. One of them in Swan Island for the industrial something there, and I did that one, and I saw everything there. So yeah, I remember that one.
Wow.
I remember I remember parking my Honda 1992 next to a Porsche Carrera.
That's a good story.
I remember that.
That's pretty humbling, huh?
Well, I saw my painting, so I'm not complaining.
Oh.
Is there a good Chilean restaurant in the Portland area? Empanadas, I'm thinking of.
Oh, there's a couple of Peru restaurants with good empanadas. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm a steak guy, so.
You're truly American.
Well, yeah, I am a truly American now. I had the citizenship last year, but
Oh,
in Chile and Argentina, we are steak people over there.
oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Argentina.
Yep. I would think compared to Argentina, it would be hard to find a good steak here compared to Argentina.
You can find it, but you need to pay for it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Sell a few paintings.
Yeah, still a few paintings.
Oh, I remember doing a painting for a client, and he didn't have the whole money thing. I remember he gave me a deer steak.
Yeah,
Remember that? I enjoy it all. It was good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to Julia's question about the whole commissioning process, if someone wants you to do work, just bring you a bucket of meat and then they can negotiate.
Yeah, no problem.
We can barter our way into a painting.
Yeah. Okay, once more around. Is there anybody else? I actually had one last question, but you guys covered it 3 different ways. So I'm not going to even bother because it's redundant to the great questions you've already asked. But before we close out today, is there something else you'd like to know about Carlos, or something specific about art? Or, as I mentioned when we started the program, these will be available during the membership drive. At certain levels of the membership drive, we're gonna have his work available, and yeah, and hopefully, I made a note. We're gonna follow up with Carlos to have a reception as soon as we're COVID free, and open up the Heritage Center there in Tualatin and have some of his paintings and welcome him and have some members. And then when it's all over with, I'm taking Carlos out for a steak dinner and I'm writing it off to the Historical Society.
Good idea.
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. And Carlos, I want to say thank you personally
Thank
for
you,
working with me the last couple of months. It's been a joy. And I have a feeling we're going to see you again.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
It's fun to get to know you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we will.
All right. We'll be in touch.
Okay, have a good night.
Thank you. Take care of those kids and good luck in Canby. Bye-bye.
Hasta luego.
Yeah.
Bye.